Wrestling. Our next contest, scheduled for one fall. The first competitor, you already see him at ringside, from Van Nuys, California, 213 pounds, Jimmy Charisma. And his opponent, on his way to the ring, from the south side of the STL, weighing 220 pounds, the urban legend, Kevin X.
There you see the former GCW heavyweight champion, Kevin X. His resume speaks for itself. We saw a 2-on-1 situation in the previous matchup. Dingo was able to come away with the victory. We could see more of the same here, though I don't know what condition Melvin Talent is going to be in to get involved in this one. There you see Melvin Talent still trying to collect himself at ringside.
Melvin Talent still trying to have his guts put back into place. Jimmy Charisma still out there. He's going to take on the urban legend, Kevin X. Now, Kevin X is another man who's had his problems with Cameron Cage. No question about that. Remember, it was right here in Overland that he came just a hair's breadth away from winning the title. That St. Louis street fight.
And if I'm not mistaken, DNS cost him that match.
You're absolutely right. That St. Louis street fight, which of course you can own by checking out GCW Home Video. Check it out on the web, www.gateway-wrestling.com. All of our home video titles for sale on DVD, including that St. Louis street fight that's been talked about by so many fans. Jimmy Charisma going to work on the urban legend, Kevin X.
Well, Kevin X is always very aggressive in that ring, so Jimmy Charisma thought he could get the jump on him. It could be time for plan B.
It could be, but again, I just have to surmise, I just have to throw some conjecture out there. That DNS being the paid assassins of Cameron Cage so many times, I wonder if Cage isn't just trying to take Dingo out, maybe trying to take Kevin X out as well.
Could very well happen. We've seen what Cage will resort to get rid of his contenders before he even has to face them. You mentioned what happened with Dingo, the payoff to Michael Strider. And as we saw in the previous match, the damage they tried to do to Dingo.
Absolutely. But Kevin X with the right hand. And you know Kevin X has been outnumbered a lot of times in his life, so he's been in these situations. He grew up on the streets. He knows how to fight back from the odds being stacked against him.
And both of these guys are certainly willing to throw the rule book out the window.
Big clothesline.
If it means getting a victory. And now both members of DNS are in dreamland.
Kevin X went for the cover, count of 1-2. That's all.
Looks like Melvin's finally woken up from the dreamland he was in.
Oh, yay. Someone put him back to sleep, will you? Let's get Dingo out here. Maybe he can drop him on his head again.
Look.
High vertical suplex from Kevin X.
Tremendous power displayed there.
Count of 1, 2, and no.
That's always been the bread and butter for Kevin X, that upper body strength.
Absolutely. Very rarely will you see an athlete with the upper body power of Kevin X. One of the best bench presses in all of GCW, I understand.
And one of the best trash talkers, as we're hearing.
That's for sure. I believe Kevin X bench presses somewhere in that 400, 450-pound range, if I'm not mistaken.
Very impressive feat, no question about it. He's been the GCW heavyweight champion, as I mentioned a little earlier.
And now he is pounding away at Jimmy Charisma. Again.
Jimmy Charisma thus far has been unable to get out of the blocks. Melvin Talent thus far has not been a factor in this one. And would it be fair to suggest the two might be related?
Well, Melvin Talent just got dropped in his noggin courtesy of Dingo. And so hopefully he won't be any part in this match. They should have had some of the medics take him to the back.
He still looks like he may still be clearing some cobwebs out there. Here we see the Garvin Stomp. Doesn't he have a different name for this? I'm not sure.
I believe that's the Ghetto Stomp.
There we go.
I think he calls that walking the dog, if I'm not mistaken.
All righty
I stand corrected. And now, count of 1, 2. Charisma gets a shoulder up.
Yeah.
Kevin X does have an attitude. He is going for some cocky pins here, but I think he wants to prove a point to people like DNS and Cameron Cage that no matter what you throw in front of him, he's going to go through it. We saw him go through the Outcast at Point Fest in that TLC match.
And Jimmy Charisma getting a close look at that top turnbuckle several times.
Kevin X now.
Kevin X not giving him any room to breathe. He's going to stay on him.
Irish whip. Nobody home on the splash, but Kevin X landed on his feet. Now there's Talent. Talent from the outside drives the knee to the post.
Talent rising from the dead almost. But Jimmy Charisma, very opportune distraction there of referee Keith Smith.
Well, Talent is somewhat alert, or at least alert enough to do that. Count of 1, 2.
And you saw them working the shoulder of Dingo a little earlier. Now they're trying to take out the knee of Kevin X. And
driving down on that knee.
And these guys have definitely had a game plan tonight. We saw it earlier and we're seeing it now. That if DNS can take out the knee of Kevin X, put him on the shelf, Cameron Cage won't have to worry about fighting him in a championship matchup in the near future.
Jimmy Charisma now locking in that leg lock, scissoring it.
Got a 1 count out of that there. That's the thing about certain submission holds. The pain may be so severe you don't realize your own shoulders are on the mat.
That's for sure.
We've seen people pin with a figure 4 leg lock, for instance.
Oh, absolutely. Ric Flair defended the world title a lot of times right here in St. Louis. That way, when you'd be caught in that figure 4 leg lock, you wouldn't submit, but you'd pass out from the pain, and your old shoulders would be on the canvas, and you'd be pinned.
Kevin X now fighting back, limping on that bad leg.
Irish whip. But Charisma with a drop kick to the ribs.
May have caught him in that knee as well. I couldn't tell from the camera angle.
Count of 1, 2. Kevin X gets the shoulder up.
And Jimmy Charisma complaining about the count. He's got to stay on a guy like Kevin X.
And he's doing so right now, choking away that bottom rope.
Keep your eye on Melvin Talent. And there you see again the distraction by Jimmy Charisma. Melvin Talent keeping up the assault from the outside.
You'd think he'd learned his lesson by now.
These guys don't seem like the type to learn their lesson all that easily, unfortunately.
Count of 2, the shoulder comes up again.
And now staying on that leg. Gonna pull him out to the center of the ring here, yanking on that leg.
Charisma now in control of the Urban Legend now.
Now into a spinning toe hold here. Could be a figure 4.
Looks like he's going for it here. I don't think he's got it completely locked in. Now he does.
There we go, and he's a long way from the ropes too.
You got to get that left leg hooked over the foot, and once you do that, it's a tremendously painful hold. Shoulders are down 2.
We alluded to it earlier. Kevin X almost pinned there by this hold.
Now Melvin Talent with the extra leverage on the outside. Come on.
Keith Smith trying to check on Kevin X to see if he wants to surrender. Kevin X not the type to give up too easily or even count the shoulders down to the mat as we've seen on a couple of occasions there.
Charisma now with that figure 4 leg lock. Doesn't have it all the way hooked in, but he's got Talent holding on that leverage.
Yeah, Keith Smith, I hate to criticize Keith Smith, but he's in a bad position there. Kevin X trying to reach the ropes, but the referee's in his way.
Well, you can't really blame him because on a figure 4 leg lock, you've got to be checking the man's face to see if he submits. Count of 1, 2. I can tell you, having been a referee in the past, that a figure 4 leg lock is a very difficult hold to officiate on when you have people on the floor. They have so many opportunities.
You got to keep an eye on a lot of things in a matchup like this where there's someone on the outside or even a tag team matchup.
Charisma now bringing Kevin X back up, right hand. And again, pounding away at him. Clothesline misses. Knee to the back and a backbreaker.
But that hurt his own knee there.
He rebounded right off that injured knee.
Now both men are down. Looks like Kevin X the first to recover.
But he's still favoring that leg.
This turns into a fist fight. I think it's going to be in Kevin X's favor.
Irish whip. Back body drop.
Kevin X slow to move around on that knee, but he is taking control of this matchup. Now going for the cover.
Count of 2.
Now Kevin X looking to finish off Jimmy Charisma.
Kevin X picks him up onto the shoulder.
A lot of power, but he couldn't hold him up on that knee. And a clip of the knee, down goes Kevin X again.
It's 15 yards in the NFL, but it's perfectly legal in GCW. Again driving that knee to the canvas.
The game plan has paid off thus far. Kevin X has been unable to use that power that he's been known for.
And again.
You can't use a size and power advantage when you're down on the mat, and we're seeing that. We saw it earlier with Cabal. We're seeing it right now.
Count of 1, 2, and no.
Now Jimmy Charisma trying to figure out how to put away Kevin X here. Kevin X certainly one of the toughest men to ever set foot in a GCW ring. He's not going to go down easily.
That's for sure. Right hand. From the ropes. Spine buster!
And that'll give him a little bit of breathing room. Both men down on the mat. Keith Smith starting the 10 count here. Could easily be a double count out here. Both men have taken a lot of punishment.
Absolutely. It's been a brutal, brutal match. And we're going to see who has that endurance right now.
As far as cardiovascular conditioning, I'd probably have to give that to Kevin X. Kevin X trying to rally the fans behind him here. And they're responding.
Clothesline by the Urban Legend.
Jimmy Charisma perhaps out on his feet after that spine buster.
Irish whip. Power slam and a beauty. Count of 1, no.
Kevin X trying to shake it out. It's that bad knee.
Well, he was looking at Talent. He thought Talent was coming into the ring there.
Could have been. He looked like he could be setting up for that super kick, but
Now wait a second. There
Talent's
he is
right behind
like
him.
a little rat.
Talent right behind him.
Super kick.
He couldn't get all of it with that bad knee, though. He could have him here.
1, 2. No, come on.
Melvin Talent just pulled Keith Smith out of the ring. Keith Smith is not going to back down from Melvin Talent, though. No question about
Now,
that.
why in the Sam Hill is that not a disqualification? You put your hands on a dadgum official. There's a briefcase in the ring, for crying out loud, right in the head. We're manhandling referees. We're hitting people with briefcases. Ah, brother.
You may be right. Maybe the referees do need to start laying down the law a little bit more here.
Count of 1, 2, please. Here's your winner, Jimmy Charisma.
That was highway robbery. I'll give you that.
Absolutely. They stole it. Plain and simple. Jimmy Charisma, your winner.
Normally, I come out here and yell at everybody and rant and rave, go back there in the back and beat the hell out of DNS till they were crying for their mothers.
Do they have any though? They're bastards.
But the truth is, I dropped the ball tonight. Really wasn't focused on my match tonight. Truth is, I'm getting ready to get married. Tuesday morning, getting married. Happy occasion, and it's also a sad one because tonight is my last night here in GCW. I really wish I would have been able to go out on a better note with a win, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. A lot of you guys might have hated me. A lot of you guys might have loved me. But I just want to go out and tell you guys I appreciate you coming out and supporting me and all the rest of the guys in the GCW locker room. I always consider GCW my home. I always will. I love you guys. I want to thank everybody in the locker room. You're the greatest bunch of guys I've ever worked with and probably ever will. I consider all you guys brothers. I just want to tell you guys, you keep showing my boys love. Because they do, they bust their asses every month, every weekend for you guys. We live for that pop. We live to hear you guys chant GCW. We want the oohs and ahs and the recognition, just the love. It ain't about the money, it's the love you give us. I love you guys. I love you guys too. Ben, thanks for the opportunity, man. I ain't gonna say I'm gone forever. I'm gonna go for a little while, but who knows, maybe someday you guys might be in the middle of the ring and catch a blindside super kick.